Shalom. This Dvar Torah is based on a sermon by Rabbi Ralph Simon Zichrono Livracha that I read many years ago. There's a phrase that appears in our parasha, as well as in Parashat Bamidbar, that is difficult. It says in both the psukim, Nitunim, Nitunim Hema Li, or Nitunim, Nitunim Hema Lo, regarding the Levites. In the first verse in Numbers chapter 3, you shall assign the Levites to Aaron and to his sons. They are given unto him from among the children of Israel. They are given twice. And the same thing in our parasha. They are given unto me from among the children of Israel. Nitunim hemali mitoch bnei Israel. And the question is, why repeat the word nitunim? They are given. In another place in Numbers chapter 18, the word only appears once in reference to the Levites. The Rashbam, Rashi's grandson, who always liked to follow the pshat, the simple meaning, he says that there is simply a doubling of the verb as in other verses in the Bible. For example, Numbers chapter 27, Naton titen lahem achuzat nachala, give, you shall give them a hereditary holding. However, two midrashim, one from Midrash HaChefetz from Yemen in the 15th century, and the other from Midrash Agadah from France in the 12th century, they give a different explanation. The first Midrash says, from Midrash HaChefetz, they are given as singers, they are given as gatekeepers. In other words, the Levites on the one hand were chosen for the lofty task of singing in the Mishkan, or in the temple, and on the other hand, they had the more prosaic and boring task of guarding all the entrances to the temple. As a person who did miluim, reserve duty for many years in the Israeli army, and I guarded army bases, especially the Sha'ar, the gate, I know exactly how boring that task is. Similarly, we read in Midrash Agadah from France in the 12th century, and why did the verse repeat they are given twice? To teach that they are given for burden, and they are given for singing. In other words, the Levites on the one hand were schlepping around all of the tziyud, all of the equipment of the tabernacle of the Mishkan in the desert, and on the other hand, they had the lofty task of singing in the Mishkan and the temple. These two midrashim contain an important message for Jews, for Zionists, and for all human beings. Everything important in life demands effort and suffering on the one hand, and spiritual and emotional rewards on the other. On the Jewish halachic level, one can point to the example of Shabbat. Many Jews do not observe Shabbat because they see only the burden of the 39 melachot, or forbidden types of labor. They fail to understand that the burden allows the song of Oneg Shabbat, spent with family, accompanied by sleeping, singing, prayer, and respite for the soul. And so it is with the holiday of Pesach. The burden of cleaning the house and removing the chametz leads to the song of the Seder, at which we experience the exodus from Egypt year after year. Negative and positive commandments are two signs of the coin called Judaism, and one enriches and completes the other. On the Zionist level, one can look at the state of Israel in these difficult times and see only the burden of taxes and politics and terrorist attacks. On the other hand, one could look at the song of the ingathering of the exiles, the revival of Hebrew, and the building of a Jewish state. But there is no song without burden. And coping with all the difficulties has allowed us to achieve all of the wonderful things which exist in the state of Israel today. And finally, on a personal level, one can look at modern human beings and see only the burden of hard work and constant pressure. On the other hand, one can look at the song of a shorter work week, efficient and fast transportation, labor-saving devices, and instant communication with the entire world. Therefore, one can say regarding all of the above, Nitunim hema lanu. They are given to us. They are given to burden, and they are given to song. May we have the wisdom to understand these important teachings. Shavua Tov from Schechter.